And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this special edition marking the celebration of Labor Day in Egypt, where President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi witnessed a celebration organized by the Egyptian Trade Unions Federation at the inauguration of Al-Sharqiya Sugar Company's new plant at the new Salhiya city in the Upper Delta Governorate of Al-Sharqiya. Addressing the ceremony, the president said that Egypt's workers had played a significant role in laying the foundations of the nation. President el-Sisi stressed that building the nation can't be achieved perfectly without laborers' contribution, stressing the need to integrate people with disabilities to workplaces. El-Sisi said the Egyptian civilization had recorded how the ancient Egyptians sanctified work. Citing global crisis that piled up hardships on developing nations, including Egypt, the president announced new decisions, including the release of a new document of the Amman certificate issued in 2017. An emergency aid fund will be also established for non-regular workers. The president also announced the launch of the National Platform for Labor Market Info. He also expressed readiness to provide further incentives to companies to raise the proportion of local components in Egyptian products. During the celebration, the president also inaugurated a number of projects via video conference and honored distinguished laborers. And on this topic, we're delighted to be joined over the phone by Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former assistant to the foreign minister. Good afternoon, Mr. Ambassador.
Good afternoon.
Well, Ambassador Bayoumi, today Egypt celebrates the Labor Day, and President el-Sisi attended a special celebration marking the event. How do you see the significance of the president's attendance of this very important event?
Very important. We thank the president to give his attention to such very important occasion. We all are, after all, laborers, and we are working for this country. We are the builders of the pyramids, we are the builders of the Aswan High Dam, we are the builders of the underground. The Egyptian workers are working everywhere. So also we want to give the balance between the different groups of interest. The workers on one side, the producers on the other, and the consumers like myself and you who are receiving all what the workers are doing. And it's good to encourage the workers. And as you well know, that we have the problems which the president mentioned, which was the corona and then the Ukrainian war, which affected all the countries of the whole world.
Right.
But thank God that we were able to face all these challenges in a good way. But also we have a challenge here, which is that we have to make possible more and more jobs for our workers. We need more jobs. This means that we need more investment and more production. And this is what the president is about and the government is about.
Right.
A huge number of infrastructure projects, and as you will know, that the infrastructure projects like the roads, the bridges, the ports, and so on, absorbs a huge number of workers, and it gives job opportunity much more than any other dimension of our producing circles. So
right.
This is the day we have to be celebrated. We have to give all our strength to make our life better, whether for the workers, for the capital, and for the consumers and the layman.
Right. Mr. Ambassador, addressing the ceremony, the president said Egypt's workers had played a significant role in laying the foundations of the nation. Now, what were the main messages that came during the president's speech today?
This is very good and important point, that we want our workers to increase their ability to produce more. This comes by training, by what we call strengthening the manpower in Egypt, by making him to know the technique, the small technique which makes him able to produce more, whether he's a builder, who is a mechanic or carpenter or whatever. There are now huge programs to train all these citizens in order to make them realize how to produce efficiently and much more, because we need their product for our consumption and for also export to gain more and more foreign currency.
Right. Well, also during the president's speech, he stressed that building the nation can't be achieved perfectly without laborers' contribution. He also stressed the need to integrate people with disabilities into workplaces. How do you see the significance of this, sir, specifically integrating people with disabilities into new workplaces?
This is very important, and this is the nitty-gritty of the techniques of making our life better. There are groups in our community which need more special care. Take the ladies, the women. We are empowering women, and this is becoming one good task in our policies. Mm-hmm. The needy people also they need our assistance. And here we are making a balance between all the interests of all the citizens of Egypt. Yeah. It's very good that we are covering all the dimension of our development.
Right. Go ahead, sir. Right. Well, Ambassador Bayoumi, the president also announced new decisions, including the release of a new document of the Amman certificate issued in 2017. An emergency aid fund will be also established for non-regular workers. How do you see the significance of these support decisions to citizens in Egypt and specifically workers and laborers?
Absolutely. It is our duty and our task in order to make every citizen, whether he's working or he is not in a position to find a job, to make him feel that we are all after him. And from purely social feeling, I feel that I cannot have my lunch unless I know that my neighbor also is having his lunch, whether he's worker or whatever. So this is another task and another challenge, because we are challenging also a big problem, which is increase in the number of citizens. We are giving birth much more than any country in the world. And of course, welcome to our young children, but we have to make for each child who give birth a bed, a desk in the school, a bed in the hospital, health care, and infrastructure also is very important. So it's a big challenge, but we are up to it. Egypt is not a normal country. It is a huge country, one of the oldest civilizations in the world.
Right. Well, sir, also workers in Egypt will be participating in the national dialogue. How do you see the significance of this participation? And, of course, how far could it bring political freedom and inclusion?
This is very important because every single citizen, whether he's worker, student, professor, doctor, or any type of our citizen, must feel that he has the right to speak and to give his opinion. And we need the opinion of everybody, because the theories in the books, we read them quite careful. But those who are in the field, who are working, or who are not working, and they have some problems to tell us, then we have to start this dialogue to make them feel that they are part of the decision-making process of this country, and both sides need the other, of course.
Right. Well, sir, how do you assess Egypt's success in obtaining gains and union positions in Africa and the Arab world?
This is another dimension which is very important to our foreign policy. Africa is a wide continent. It is the poorest continent, by the way, but it is a big market, whether to get for our industries its raw material or to export. Africa needs everything we are producing. And we have a good representation in Africa. Egypt is one of the best countries well presented in Africa. We have representation everywhere. Even the president lately, a couple of years ago, he went and visited one country who didn't have resident embassy. He established resident embassy. We built it by the Arab constructor. So this shows you that we restore again the presidential level to take such important decision to be everywhere in Africa. The initiative, the Egyptian initiative also concerning Africa, that we are calling on the developed countries, such as Japan, China, Europe, United States, and else, to come and to invest in Africa, because Africa needs more and more investment. And with the help of Egypt, because we know Africa better than any other country, we are well presented in Africa. So our presence in Africa is good, but not enough, because we need to tackle the area of investment and not stop at just the trade. Trade is not enough, and I think we did all what we can concerning trade. We need now investment to produce more, export more, and make job creation much more.
Sir, also during the celebration, President Sisi inaugurated a number of projects via video conference, and he also honored distinguished laborers. How do you see the significance of new projects in supporting the nation, and also the fact of honoring laborers during this very special event?
This is very good to make all of us, every single citizen feels that he can reach the president. The president is talking to us, and much more important, he is listening to us. And as we have seen a few minutes ago, he was talking, saying that I listen carefully, even to the mass media, even to what is written in the newspapers, even what we are writing on the Facebook or the WhatsApp and so on. It means that he is well informed, and that's why he is engaged and answering all whatever questions we are raising. This is a good process in order to exchange views between all of us, the citizen and the government, and on top of this, the president.
The president also announced the launch of a national platform for labor market info. How do you see the significance of this new platform, sir?
This is one very important point if you are seeking what we call a free market. A free market is combined of many things, among them knowledge. Even if I am consumer, if I do not know what is the Egyptian production and where it is better available with available and the suitable price, then I am in a much better situation if I have the knowledge. So this is exactly what the president meant by establishing a sort of a system where we can be sure that we know everything in the market, whether as consumers, whether as producers, or also the traders and the workers.
Right. Well, I would like to thank you very much, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former assistant to the foreign minister. Many thanks for your insight. And dear viewers, now we go to a short break and we'll be right back.